right foot, followed by your left foot, will guide you home before your curfew. turn into your bed, standing on our tiptoes, peering through open windows. I swear I heard my name. Sitting with the lights off, waiting for my brain to storm, trying to work things out. It's thunder and it's lightning and it's all things too frightening. I could barely see outside. Body was black and blue, been struck twice is nothing new. Your body was black and blue, been struck twice is nothing new. Your body was black and blue, 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 your body was and there's thunder, and there's lightning coming home. And there's thunder, and there's lightning coming by. Your body was black and blue, your body was black and blue, and your body I have to say goodnight. I'm leaving for your punching at my light. I have to say goodnight. I'm leaving for your punching at my light. I have to say goodnight. I'm leaving for your punching at my light. I have to say goodnight. I'm leaving for your punching at my light. I'm leaving. I think I died this time. Stop for bullet holes and stab wounds in my side. I think I'm solving crime. I got a couple of clues and a hunch it swells like a full blown time. Make time for us, make time for us. Can't even sing for words, you know, I'm far too shameful. It's nothing.
Now you can. Sick. All right, y'all. What's good? We are live. Now you can hear me as well. All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Ian, what's good, man? Seth, Jose, got Karen and Jay, Turco, Drevis, Joe, Brandon, Rafa, Corey. 4.5 hour on gold, and I'm in a sell currently. Beautiful. Love it. What's up, British Brandon? I hope you like that. If not, I'll stop. Alright, what's up, Docs community? Hello. Evan, Nadir, my boy. Jose Ortiz. Alright. Cool, so to kick things off, quick recap. Yesterday we had, I talked to you guys about a gold buy, which I ended up taking here. And then we had, after the day ended, it was still valid. So if you took a position on this and the new day, then you had honestly better entries. So maybe you took it after going into the new day. But yeah, market moved pretty well. After we actually ended up pushing down pretty quickly, I did like the exits over here, kind of where we just were. So things look pretty good here. I totally do understand the shorts if you did short as well. So good stuff if you did sell in here. I like that idea. Reduce stop. Corey on top of it, man. I love it. What's up, Alan? So yeah, buys, taking profit on buys makes sense. Shorts make sense. And I hope all of this plays out in your favor 100%. But let's look at indices. We're about 10 minutes out from the open. What's cooking over here? Holding ES shorts from yesterday. Oh, word. ¿Qué tal, Alan? ¿Cómo vas? That's dope. Alright, so zooming out, guys, I want you guys to kind of see where we're at in the grand scheme of things here with NASDAQ. We have effectively worked our way back as predicted on here. Our break below these May levels, this huge bearish dump that we got here in the beginning of the month, was just to liquidate buyers, get some fear in the game before the market rallies. So you know how it goes. Things have continued from here. The markets are definitely, it did not confirm a higher time frame break. So this is really important. Now, a lot of people are going to want to keep shorting this because they think that since the market got below this previous low, that means that the market's now bearish, that there's a bearish trend. That is not the case. At least not in my experience and not in all the data I've collected. It's not as accurate as it seems. Typically, you want to see the market not just trade below this, not just get below, but stay below. You want to see the market find some sort of, there's like my hair's all over me right now. Find some sort of consistency below here. You want to see market trade down here for an extended period of time, especially based on the structure. So the higher time frame needs more time where it's sitting under here. Here we can tell the market just gets below, comes back up again, it gets below, rises again. Not quite there. And then we rally. So my thoughts are that we're going to continue to break above here with NASDAQ at some point. Doesn't mean that you can't get any intraday setups for shorts or for buys. But overall, I do think we work our way higher and higher. But yeah, we got to find our way in. Well, we don't have to, but it would be nice. And yeah, so let's see what happens, right? Right now, the first thing, right before New York session, London lows get swept for NASDAQ. Okay, so just NASDAQ sees a break below London lows. Remember, this is important because London buyers are using typically these lows, or maybe even these lows, as their stops. Now, especially looking at the structure, here you have like a 15-minute structure. You also have Tokyo lows sitting right here. And these Tokyo lows, there's also equal lows. There's retail money sitting right here. So there's some money right there. So here, there's definitely an incentive for price to go below this. Price can just do a little bit of this, clear some of this out before he considers rallying. Those are my thoughts, at least. I know since you have this right here, nice little sweep. Good stuff, Corey. Well done, man. Feel free to share your wins in the community, tag us, all that good stuff. So we can highlight you on the Tradetopia IG. But yeah, so Nas taking out London lows early. There's a chance we might have a shakeout here. What that means is the market would have to potentially establish itself like this, kind of show us that there really is the market didn't have an intention to stay below, but to just liquidate before it reverses. So something like this would be necessary. However, we got to look at what Dow is doing and what S&P is doing. And guess what? Dow is actually more bullish. You see how Dow's already trading way up here within this zone? Way up here. Thank you. Whereas NQ is slow, sitting down here. And you can always use a fib tool to just get more clarity. You throw your fib over here, and you'll notice like what's pulling back more slowly. So you go, all right, well, NQ is kind of slowly working its way up. 23.6% pullback, about a 25% pullback. Meanwhile, Dow is ripping here. And Dow has already pulled back in this small zone over 61% towards 70%. So it's a lot more bullish so far. So what can you do with that information? Does that mean that you should be looking for a trade, looking for an entry somewhere? And what does that mean for you? Well, here's the thing. And how these are moving make a difference. So take a look at this. Nas created a high around 6:20 a.m. Central. So give it 2 hours ago. Nas created a high. Dow created basically a higher low. So they've been moving in opposite directions. This has only been climbing. Dow has only been climbing up, while NQ has only been going down. So two completely different ways of moving so far. So what can you do when the market's moving like this? You know, what's the right choice? And to be fair, I don't necessarily think there is anything abundantly clear right now. I wouldn't pursue the markets like this quite yet. We don't have really enough proof that this wants to be bearish, considering that when it broke below, it came right back in. There's a chance that the market wants to keep going, because here's a nice little sweep below the lows. And then if the market keeps going bullish with NASDAQ up here, it just keeps going up and up and up, maybe we get a buy position here later. There's a chance. What we know is that NASDAQ takes out the highs during London, worked its way down, fails to make any lower lows, and then quickly comes back up. So would I be looking to sell NASDAQ right now or anything like that? No. Even if price came back up here, I still wouldn't sell because of how it struggled to maintain these lows. So I'm not quite in the market for sells on NASDAQ. Dow. Now, Dow, I know some of you may be looking at this and thinking, well, okay, what about this big spike up? right? Dow comes in, a lot of momentum up to here. So can this sell? Can the market reverse out of here? Okay, again, think about how everything's coming together. When the market worked its way down, so here's the structure. Right now, what do we know, guys? What trend are we in here? Higher low, higher high. The market retraces. Healthy continuations. So what trend is our indices at? Especially Dow. Where is this moving? This is bullish, right? So looking to sell what has the most momentum, at least in my opinion, that's not it. That's not it for me. Again, maybe you have a different story, but for me, it's not making sense. Now, where I could maybe consider this would be if something like this were to happen. So, one, if NASDAQ and Dow are going to move in completely opposite directions, then let's say NQ were to like take out these lows. So let's say this were liquidity sweep on NASDAQ, and then it's going to maybe could reverse. If NQ were to take out Tokyo lows, which would be basically just capturing a ton of liquidity, maybe Dow has a chance at reversing around those times. But for now, yes, smart money comes in, takes out these highs, and then decides to just sell off completely. So there are buyers here, and that I definitely know. Like you can see it, obviously. Money comes in before the big reversal. But is this enough proof that we're going to get an exchange of money again right here? That sellers are going to come in to close out these buys. The timing is what makes it interesting though. So I could see it, I guess, but I think it's just a vulnerable trade. So I'm okay with missing out on or just not being involved, even if it were to work out. Like, it's just not it. Let's see. Surviving the highs so far. Very nice. Look at that, what we're seeing. Now we're seeing NAS at the same time push lower. It takes out these lows as well. So again, we didn't have confirmations for any trades here. Now we've seen Dow just poke above the New York highs. Okay, so reversals could be coming here soon as we're seeing this move in opposite directions. Yeah, congrats, Mike. Mike won a funded account for the fast track. Congratulations. All right, so cool. Look at this. Dow ripping, liquidating, NQ trying to go lower, struggling. So I could definitely see NASDAQ taking out the lows, and then we get something like this. So we get a sweep of liquidity, market comes back in, and then we can get a continuation back to the upside. I could see something like this for sure, because these are moving in way opposite directions. Honestly, if depending on your take on the market and how you want to trade order blocks, I wouldn't even be surprised if we see some sort of reversal in here. Gets into the zone, reverses, rips. If you have like the data for something like that, I mean, feel free to take it, but so yeah, let's see if we get there. something like this, I think, can make sense. Let's see if where we go. Look at Dow just on an absolute rampage. Sending it. Okay, that leaves us to metals. Now, metals have been pushing nicely after here. I know some of you are in shorts in the zone. So what about metals, right? Can metals give us another buy position? What do you guys think? Is there anything valid over here? So metals, the reason I definitely understand shorts, well, what happens? Yesterday we get the market to takes out these highs. So it clears above here briefly, works its way back in. So you see the market play out of the zone. So it rejected. So this played out nicely. If you guys took these buys with me, then should have caught a nice little trade up here. And when the market comes back basically to the open of what takes out these highs, we're seeing the exchange from buyers to sellers. But what I will say is I'm not really, yes, it failed to make higher highs here. But the question is, do we have enough confirmation that this is starting to change trend, a direction now? The 5-minute time frame definitely went from bullish to bearish when we started to trade below here. We see the market work its way up. But we'll get back to gold in a second. Now we're getting into this territory where you can see NQ breaking the low. So look at how NQ gets right below here. Hold on. Just got logged out real quick. Let me log back in. Sweet. Alright, looks like I'm in now. Okay. So NQ instantly just wicks the low, clears Tokyo lows just like that. Obviously not enough, at least too quickly to get into anything below it. And now immediately reverses. So I would love to be able to get in a trade now. I feel like we're probably going to break above, but if we don't and we kind of just chop up in here, then I'm game for a buy. So something like this looks good. And then we'd be looking for buys just kind of in this area. There's plenty of areas where we've seen support before. So you see them, down here, over here, even over here. So it's going to come down to let's see if this kind of gave us this kind of setup. No, this is liquidated. And I'm looking for buys on NQ because it's moving in the opposite direction as Dow, and it's already taken. There was plenty of liquidity there, and going with the trend. So right now we came back up. We haven't spent too much time up here quite yet, but the big thing is that there was just a lot of liquidity sweep. So if we get a quick push back down here, then I might only take this with a smaller amount of risk. So you see how it came up and right back down. This is very aggressive. Typically a move up and down like this, I typically won't take a trade like this. Part of me thinks this is gonna rip anyways, because now they're kind of moving together. Look at how it's going up. They're all moving together now. So maybe we get a imbalance fill here first. Meanwhile, S&P kind of chilling. Let's see. Yeah, the big difference now with this continuing to go higher is just that since it's already, it took out all these buyers, it's got more ammunition. Like there's just more orders. So can this, let's see if we can just chop up a little bit longer, maybe get one more poke below here and then pull the trigger. Like this could decide to kind of consolidate, lure in liquidity some more. And we get one, like, you know, lure in more sellers one last time before we see this thing absolutely send it. Let's see if that's the case. If not, then it is what it is. But did anyone already get in? Anyone's like, I don't care. I don't need anything else. This is gonna play out how I see it. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let's see, live stream. Y'all, no one's saying anything. Y'all are just locked in right now. All right, so we're here. I'm gonna take a smaller risk setup. So I took a half risk. The demand here wasn't great. We had like 4 minutes or so. But the fact that NASA's the only one that's up liquidity before ripping, that's what intrigues me about this trade. So let's see what happens here. Typically, I want to see this stay for longer. But if it's just doing a small demand, then it's more of the context. So for me, because this is the only one that targeted liquidity before moving, that's what really has me more interested than the rest of these. And I feel like we're going to get an inverse correlation. So this is going to fly and everything's going to go down. So here's what we got. So let's see. So far, I might have nailed it here. All right. Decent push so far. This is a 4.5 R potential. Even if I'm risking half, that's still well over 2R, like money-wise. Okay. All right. Anyone take this with me by any chance? In with half R. Okay. I see. Too slow. Yeah, I mean, you had to be quick. Had to be super quick. Got in. All right. In there. Cool. So, okay, so let's take a look. Is this, now that we've, after we dropped in, you have tons of liquidity right here. So, would make sense for this to liquidate these orders. Also, the market came into the imbalance and quickly recovered all of this. So, at this stage now, I'm going into a reduced stop. So, now we have very, or at least I have very little at risk. Maybe some of you are break even. So I'm going to keep it like this for right now. Just let it do its thing. Sitting at over a 1R, the risk was 38 points or so, and right now we're trading 60. Yeah, 60 points in profit. So almost at a 2R. I got in too fast and got in with double risk. Oh no. Oh no, you're up a lot now. Well, take your free money. Okay, so it's moving smoothly. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, drop some W's in the chat. So a little shakeout, quick shakeout. And balance fill, these should be the easier targets over here. I am gonna move now that we're breaking out. I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna tighten up the stop because now we're like really sweeping a whole bunch of liquidity here. So just in case all this wants is to take out liquidity in reverse, I'm actually going to tighten this a bit more aggressively because for all we know, this just wanted to sweep liquidity and then immediately reverse. So I'm tightening this up just in case that's all this wants from us. Nadir, I don't think you put enough W's, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I think another 15 or so will do the trick. You know? Missed it. All good, bro. You know it's all good. All right, how is this looking for Dow? So look at this. Dow is still going lower. So we nailed it with the inverse correlation. Oh, big spike down. What's it going to be? Will we survive? Or will I survive? I don't know how you guys are managing this one. But for now, yeah, like when the market... No, don't do that. It just tagged me out for the imbalance fill. Let's see, will it continue or is that it? But either way, got some gains. Can't be mad about it. We got some gains. Stop profited out. So at least for me, that was about a half-hour profit. Okay, that's cool. So why do I do that? Now this could still play out. Don't get me wrong. Like, this might still run if you're in it. Hopefully it goes further. But the reason I manage my stop like that is that, in my experience, when the market is targeting liquidity, if it clears liquidity quickly and comes right back down, more often than not, the intention of the move to the upside was just a liquidity sweep. So I am very okay with adjusting my stop a bit more aggressively in these situations so that I can still get something. Because a lot of times what you'll see is you want, a bigger move, which is what I wanted. It liquidates the retail sellers, and then that was it. So it only gave you the bare minimum. Maybe that's the case here, maybe not. Honestly, I'm not sure. But this is at least how I've typically secured, not just like getting nothing from the market when you get at least a decent move. So that's at least my trade management rule. Looks like this has enough. I think that this will go higher because I'm just looking at Dow, and right now it just seems like Dow, if Dow's going to keep pushing lower, sweep more of this. If they're going to keep moving in opposite directions, then it should probably keep going higher. So let's see. Could I have managed this differently? The market did start to pump and take out highs, like down here, which is where I had my stop. Whatever. Like, I'm not really tripping about it. All right, so in a situation like this, is there another, what's the word I'm looking for? Is there an entry point now, anywhere else? So right before New York Open, we had this. All right, New York Open creates, or this was New York Open, right? It creates the order block right there. So I want you guys to see this here. So you saw the resistance and then pulls it down and then rallies. So there is a chance that the market actually just rejects this zone and then continues. Now this looks like pretty much a break and retest, right? Like just a typical break and retest trade. The reason that this to me actually has some potential is that this lures in retail sellers one last time. So you had resistance, resistance. So this brings it in very, very, very briefly before everything just rips. So typically, I would never trade just a break and retest on its own. But because at exactly New York Open, we get something like this, I would not be surprised if we get a nice bounce out of here. So I'm going to take a half risk trade on the market getting to this point and bouncing out of here. And the reason I'm doing that is, like I mentioned, one, I've been testing out these types of entry models. Hold on, this is a mini. I want a micro. And then also, if you look at Nasdaq's also in its own imbalance. So they may both keep moving in opposite directions. NQ is rebalanced, and then Dow can just kind of keep doing its thing. So again, this trade, guys, the one that's in front of me, honestly, if you don't trade like this, don't take it. Don't take it. This is something that I've only recently started adding to my repertoire. It's based on context. I don't have the same kind of win rate with this trade as I do with like shakeouts and mitigation, which you guys see, like those hit pretty often for me. Those have great risk rewards. So yeah, I just wouldn't treat it the same way if I were you. Like if you're like, I don't really trade like this, don't just blindly follow me, right? How's NQ going for you guys? Those of you that managed to stay in. Let me know. Let me know. How many points was I targeting for NQ? I mean, I don't just target just a certain amount of points. It's like towards specific movement orders in the market. But like 140 at least to like 39.30 for NQ. I'm almost ready to pull the trigger on this Dow buy. Getting closer and closer. Really anywhere in here is cool with me. It looks like it'll probably be around like 11, 12, maybe 13 contracts by the time it's at the entry zone. Our original NQ buy is sitting up pretty nice, like a 2R, a little over 2R. See if I can poke one more push down. Come on. Before this thing rips. The lemon and salt water. You need it, guys. Every day. Kick off the day right. Almost getting there. Once this starts to get into process, we'll go take a look back at gold and go take a look back at oil. Oil just keeps pushing lower and lower, sitting below 78 right now. So I told y'all to stay patient with oil. Don't force any buys there. All right. So hopefully you guys were listening a little bit. All right. Dow almost in territory. Here we go. Come on. Get in there. All right. So I'm going to pull the trigger right now. Nance, as soon as Nance walked away. It could go into more drawdown maybe. But yeah, I'm basically right out of the open here. My stop is a little bit higher. Stop is about 50 points, give or take. And then I'm going to go towards just taking out the highs we've already seen. So this should take this to well over a 3R. But let's see if this is going to work out. It may not work out. Like I said, this is for me more experimental. I don't have the same kind of risk exposure. I want to just get more reps with this type of entry model, see when it works out better or not. The fact that NASDAQ, so I'm actually thinking about this, the fact that NASDAQ could go more higher into imbalance, that might keep pushing this trade actually lower. So I could see this trade losing, to be fair. So if, like I said, this isn't one that I'd say, oh, hey guys, blindly copy my ideas here. Well, I never really say for you to do that. That's not the whole point of at least why I'm here as a trader and just as an educator in the field. It doesn't really align with my values. Like, I want you guys to know how to fish. So the reason behind this is I saw this order block, like this sell-off, as the last trap, like the last enticement for retail sellers before it ripped. So I thought that we can get a reversal right out of here, now that these sell orders can get closed out. But the difference is, I feel like NQ has just a different story. It has a different game to play here. So yeah, just like that, already stopped out. I wasn't too surprised. So I took that with less accounts as well because I just wanted to see it through. I wanted to get my reps in before anything. But we'll see. And again, some of these things require, like, all right, should stop losses be placed differently? Correlation, all these things. So for me, these are worth just building up reps, seeing how well they're winning, how well they're losing, and then being able to operate from that kind of place here. But what's cool now is that the way that this is playing out for Dow, right? If Dow ends up kind of, let's say, building up liquidity here, then we can get a shakeout for shorts here. So we might be in territory where this loads up retail buyers and then we can sell later. So one or the other can play out from here. So didn't quite get the idea that I originally had in mind here, which was kind of expected. Not expected, but I knew it was possible. And then, yeah, we're continuing to go further down. You know what? I wonder... Oh, okay, never mind. I was going to say I wanted to see what S&P is doing. S&P has a lot of liquidity here. S&P has a lot of retail money right here. I would not be surprised at all if we end up sweeping these lows. Taking out S&P lows here, if that puts the overall market into, like, we might get reversals. Because remember, at least here's my take on things. S&P, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ, they're all play together. Like, it's not just one thing moving completely independently. They're all kind of a domino effect. They're all chained together. So seeing a liquidity sweep of S&P, like all of these retail buyers, seeing this sweep London lows, maybe get below Tokyo, might really not need to. But seeing it trigger all of this, that could definitely lead to reversals across the board. Like right now, I know it's about a target. It looks like it's going for it. So now we're broken below New York Open. This is important right here, right? The candle that we were looking to buy, that was the New York Open move. So that's basically a sweep of liquidity. People chase the open. So this just breaking below New York Open matters. Right there, right? This is where it all begins. Okay. S&P still building up retail liquidity. So this big sweep down, liquidated New York Open, came right back in. All right. It's got me curious. Remember what I had said earlier? I wanted to see Dow get into where we had New York highs to fill the imbalance before taking profit on NQ. So it looks like as soon as that happened, which was right here, let's see, 8:55. My bad. Clicked the wrong button. Right there, right? Right over here. Right when the market, gets into the imbalance, that was the peak for NASDAQ as well. And that's where everything reversed. So everything came back and we got rebalanced. Okay. So I think overall the fun begins again once S&P decides to liquidate. I feel like we're going to end up getting something will be in position to take. So for example, big sweep here from Dow. This is kind of like an informal shakeout. If we can get some demand here, then we might be in buyer's positions again for Dow Jones. I would love it for it all to align though. Like if S&P can liquidate and that kind of lines up with a Dow pullback, like right into here, I'm down for it. Big thing too, guys, that we want to keep the big picture in mind for this week is because we have FOMC tomorrow. Or is it CPI? No, we have FOMC. We had CPI last week. FOMC tomorrow. So today we have Nothing else for the day. Like, it's pretty chill day. Tomorrow you have some retail sales, Trump speaking, and then FOMC, and this will be the first the first interest rates that are shared from Kevin Warsh. So not only do you have that, but now you're getting economic projections, which is something that I can't say we've had before. Like, I don't remember what this has looked like in the past, so whatever. But yeah, this is going to be huge. This could set the tone for quite a bit here. So just so you guys are in the know. All right, S&P working its way down again. Maybe that break below is coming soon. Metals crashing lower and lower. What do you guys think about the London low here that basically was created? Big sweep down, continuation. Does gold want to buy out of here? Big move right there before the market continued. There's still liquidity here though, gap down here, so I feel like buying in this range with gold is not really my favorite. Silver also holding up a bit better. Silver traded all the way down to here before rallying, so I do prefer silver's move over gold. And then oil still on its way down, my friends. I think it's so cool that we caught the shorts out of here from 102. Like, caught the shorts out of there. Epic. Just about like the distribution right out of here. This one was, you can go back and watch the recording if you want to study it, May 21st. I was not thinking that we were going to get all of this though. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't think we were going to catch the moment it was going to break the low of the April's low. So I think we're getting to very important moments though with oil, because this low had held for very, very, very long, right over here. We broke below it now. So will we trade down into 75-ish over here with oil? Huge spike down and then a rally. So can the market get down to here before oil maybe gets any sort of reversals? Or is breaking the weekly low the main target? And then, is there confirmation for reversals from here? So we can do two different things. And I'm going to start with what happened over here in March. So we can take a replay tool, go all the way over here, and start to get a bit more intel and see, okay, did we come back to this yet? Is there, open ideas over here? And I think with an older contract, I still have this marked up. But we definitely have a sweep below here. We have a liquidity sweep, and the market never came back. So this is a valid reversal all the way down here. And then we have new contracts upcoming here for oil. It gets trickier to trade these as the contracts switch over. So actually, let's look at this. Where was the contract for this one? So if you go at the continuous chart, this is when the market was trading with CLJ. Okay, so CLJ. And then we saw, hold on. Give me a second, guys. So what I marked up just now goes back all the way to, what was this, March 10th? Okay. So it goes back to this moment. March 10th, big sweep down over to here. So something like this, right over here. This is sitting at the time, it was like 80. Okay. From here, did we trade down there? Again, no. So I'm just giving you confirmation so you can see the old contracts and know, like, all right, yeah, we never really got down here. Anyways, okay. So that's that March level. March 10th, okay. Things continue. Do I have the replay tool on, or am I tripping? I don't, right? Okay, cool. So then from there, this goes to the next contract. So let's go back to CL. Back over here. All right. So according to the continuous chart, we're here right now. That smoothens everything out. So according to that, that's what we're trading. Okay. So when we went from this contract, CLJ, to CLK, did the market trade back down to this area, this imbalance here? It got pretty close. It like traded right, basically. So the contract switching over and all that jazz, like, it just kind of makes these swing trades a bit more, in my opinion, a bit more confusing. Because like, did it already trade into these areas that are interested to, like, that are relevant to us or not? So if we're looking at just the continuous chart and kind of get a good idea at this, then I would say, like, okay, we've cleared the lows for the weeks, we've gotten to these key levels, okay, we could be in the market for reversals. If we're only considering the current contract, and I don't have an answer for you guys, like, I actually don't know. When we're looking at the current contract, it looks like, well, we never got our way down to here yet. So should it? Does it need to? Or does the fact that, you know, we've gone into different contracts several times now, does it mean we've already traded out of here? So honestly, I'm going to look into it because I don't know. That's why, for me, futures, like looking for reversals and high time frames from the past, like months ago on futures, is a bit more complex, and I typically don't. So I won't like just trade a higher time frame entry. I'll kind of wait for a bit more data in order to do that. But based on what we're seeing right now, so based on just current market behavior, it looks like we're in a shakeout kind of territory. You saw the market, at least with this, with what the data we do have here, break the lows of the week, or for the month, like major lows right here. And now we have a sweep of liquidity. The market's starting to kind of consolidate. So this is where this can kind of load up on retail sells, and then maybe we get a little push down and a continuation. How far can this take us to? There's going to be some key targets initially. I would like to, just where we have the previous like major structure over here. So even just trading back over to this area is fine. So yeah, I'll have my eyes on oil. But that's the big picture. Let me know what you guys think. Still in there. Had another contract break even at the moment for your stop loss. What if that YM turns into a shakeout sell? It's possible. Yeah. Mike, have you ever, let's say, trade, let's say, against you? Like towards the other side of the trade? Like a hedge? Like I trade the opposite of what I think is going to happen? Or at liquidity, maybe not at the top, or order block. Can you say what you're saying differently? The Bank of Japan raised its short-term policy rate to 1% on June 16. Yeah. More volume on the Q contract? Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. So, wow, I'm surprised the volume came in that early. But that's pretty early. It's a few days ahead. Yeah, I haven't traded currencies quite yet this week. So I haven't done any... I haven't switched over any of the contracts on currencies here. But if you are trading currencies, make sure you're swapping these for U, all the U charts. So, like for example, let's see here. So if you're looking at, all right, I know you guys were asking about the yen, right? So the yen, you want to look at 6JU, the contract that ends in September. Over here. Now, obviously we got below this massive pump here. Wasn't enough apparently. So we kept trading lower. Trading into this imbalance at the moment. Over here with the yen. Out of the zone. You had a pretty big spike over here. I'm not really, yes, there are things going on with the yen, but looking to buy because of the lows on its own, not necessarily what I'm looking for here. Actually, I would want to see, I would want to take a look at the previous contract. 6J, what were we looking at? 6JQ? No, what was it? Was it 6JM? 6JM. What was the contract we were just on? Whatever, I'm over it. Doesn't matter. Yeah, so if you're going to switch over all of your currency contracts enter to U. I know someone asked me about the pound, actually. I was going to go over this. 6BU. And then it was about to sell. So I think it was Jose that was asking about shorts. One, I still see liquidity up here. We've definitely gotten reversals out of this imbalance. I think we've already mitigated this zone though. So here's where we pumped up and then dropped. And this is exactly where we got these reversals from the open of the week. So I think we already basically exchanged buyers for sellers right there. So I wouldn't really be looking for sells here for now. I think we've already gotten what we needed to get. If the pound is, let's say, working its way down the slowest, then I do like the buys at like 133.50, like below 1.3358. So buys make sense to me here, and then we can get some continuations. What do you think about Euro USD? I can look at it. Yeah, I got it. Just a funny question. It's more like, do you take the trade based off conditions and previous data? Happens all the time live. I still don't understand what you're saying. Have you ever traded, let's say, against you, like towards the other side of the trade? Or at liquidity? So you're saying, have I ever just not, so do I just not trade what I believe in and just trade what I'm feeling? I'm not really following you, bro. I'm gonna be real. You can write it in Spanish if you want as well. Alright, so look at this. NQ bleeding out, beautiful. We have S&P starting to crash and liquidate, so that's pushing even lower. Perfect. It's kind of how we had it set up. And now the question is the pound, not the pound, is Dow, is this going to be a shakeout or not? Honestly, I wouldn't consider this. Like, it broke, retested for sure, and came right back up. But it didn't really leave liquidity here. I don't know. I don't know how much I like this, the markets here. S&P breaks the trend line by a little bit here. I think it's got more to go though. Like, I feel like it's got to push further. London lows are almost out. Dow's almost ready for reversals. And then now NQ sitting more in these order blocks. Okay. I feel like reversals are coming soon. Now that this trend line is broken there. Here, this is what I originally wanted, right? Was this move. Before we got like it poked below here with NQ, this was the one that I mentioned before. I was like, trading out of the order block down here is where we could see the market see some reversals. So that's cool. You already got the exchange there. It looks like this might be a shakeout for Dow though. Down and up, real quick. But what's kind of odd is it's already pushing down. Like, okay, S&P going down, Dow's going down, and Q is going down. So is everything just going to crash together now? Is that what we're seeing here? London lows swept across the board. So massive amounts of liquidity already gone. Shakeout on oil, possible here. So now we're talking about, let's say, MCLQ. Sideways movement. Like I said, reversals in general. So if it doesn't look as clear with, let's say, like Dow or something else, I mean, it might look better with, excuse me, with a different asset class. So let's say oil working its way to here. Trading this to the upside. I could see this. So I got a limit on oil with this breaking out of consolidation and then rallying right there. Right now it's cracking some of this sideways movement. I'm hoping that it crashes below here too. Let's see what everything else is looking like. MES is pursuing Tokyo lows, not quite there, pretty close though. So huge crash down. Looks like Dow followed suit slowly. And then NQ almost breaking these lows as well. Okay. Place an alert here with S&P cracking Tokyo lows. And then we have oil. If S&P crashes to take out Tokyo lows, that either triggers the limit or it'll be a market execution on oil for me. Dow, meanwhile, Dow is just slowly moving. Super slow. And Q starting to reverse a little bit from these lows. Not that I would have bought anything in here. Nice, Brandon still holding MES. Savage, I love it. What's your exit on S&P, Brandon? Dow cleanly working its way. So the shakeout on Dow basically worked out decent. Not the one with the most momentum to the downside, but did its thing. I didn't go for this just because it didn't seem like we just built up liquidity down here, so I was kind of okay with that. Maybe I was a little too rigid in my qualifications for it, but I just wasn't sold on it yet. S&P doing the classic break and retest from the trend line. So trend line break, retest. Honestly, probably does go lower though. I do think this one will go lower again. There's enough context for it. So maybe that's what you meant, Puccini? Like, do I ever trade just a retail pattern or anything? I don't, but I mean, I see them. I get it. Here's gold in this area, and so is silver. So silver and gold also in reversal territories. There's a lot going on right now. So I guess take your choice. You know, indices don't look as clear to me for entries. Silver they look pretty similar between silver and gold here. Deep pullbacks into these ranges. S&P is about to take that low. And it looks like this oil trade, shakeout on oil, looks like it's pretty damn close to getting triggered in. So just waiting on this S&P sweep of the low. Unless it's not going to. That would be wild. Silver starting to, or gold and silver starting to react. Playing out of the order block. So these were good entries right here. I don't know if I'm being over patient. Too patient with S&P. But I will leave this ready to pull the trigger. Let's see. I'll be ready to strike. All right, S&P's really close. You guys, it's not on your screen, but I guess I could put it on your screen now. So it breaks below that and it's game time. Sorry, I'm market executing here, gold. And then let me switch over to oil, see if it got me in or not. All right, oil didn't, so I'm gonna market execute oil as well. S&P melting through. Oil is active for me. Gold's active as well. So here is my entry. Shakeout on oil. And then just so you guys can see here. S&P clearing Tokyo lows. Looks like it's, maybe it breaks these lows too, I don't know. But anyways, that's what we have with S&P. Massive liquidity sweep. Dow trading all the way into here. Dow might do a little mitigation. Here you have that big spike down. So maybe you see Dow reverse from here. It looks like maybe silver was a better trade than gold. Looks like at the end it started to hold a little bit better. I'm not really sure. Guess we'll see. But anyways, so here is oil. Also for context, here's where Nasdaq's sitting at. Nasdaq full-blown move. Now in this imbalance that I had marked up from before. So we're over here. Maybe it's going to target New York low. So massive liquidity sweep. Shout out Brandon holding that S&P sell. Love to see it. We have now sitting below all of this. So the bigger the squeeze, the bigger the breakout. So a big breakout was expected, sitting over here. What I like about oil, and maybe metals hold it, maybe not. That's why, I have multiple entries across different assets. But despite these crashing aggressively, oil is holding it down. Like oil is chilling. So, it's giving us pretty good signs. Gold here, holding up okay. Let's see if this is going to be enough if we have enough space here. So it looks like silver bouncing back a bit better. We'll see if it's enough. Now that S&P broke below like the key order block, all the liquidity, and Q has gotten below basically right around New York lows. Let's see if these are going to survive. So look at silver. Silver is the better setup right now. I think I'm going to get stopped out of gold here. And it looks like silver is going to hold. Maybe gold has just enough drawdown to hold this one out. But wicking this out would make more sense from a smart money perspective, to be honest. So we'll see. All right, so there goes silver, or there goes gold. So pulling the trigger, I guess now on silver makes a bit more sense, but that would be doubling down on the same asset. So does losing on the same asset make enough sense? Either way, I'm in oil, so I'm not too concerned. I just got logged out. Hold up. One second, guys. Let me log back in over here. I logged in on my TradeAvit and it instantly. If you ever get this disconnect unauthorized error, what you can do is you just have to delete your cookies and then you'll be good. So delete that and then reload it. You'll have to log in again and stuff, but then you'll be able to log back into your account. I did take a silver long on an account, not all of them. All right, one sec, y'all. Log back in over here, trade a bit. Gold wake me out to reverse, right? I'm assuming that's what happened. Yeah, that's what I figured. As soon as I realized, like silver's holding up a little bit better, I was like, gold's gonna wick out and then make the move. All right. So oil still kind of chilling, not quite doing anything substantial. I am in a silver long. Silver, nice. So I got my entry here. What was the price? 69.59.5 here. So I'm in it here. The reaction that I'm looking for from here is about 70 points. So this thing moving to, yeah, I mean basically to the previous low that I had set up. See if we can get there. Gold realistically should at least push over to here as well. That's the difference. So that's like the make or break with correlation and divergence too. All right, so S&P reversing and Q after breaking or no, that's the same thing. Dow mitigating here, so that did in fact play out like that. And then NASDAQ after taking out New York lows. That was basically these were the orders that it was looking for more than anything. Doing its thing now. Okay.
Are you purposely not sharing your screen?
Oh, no, I'm not purposely not sharing my screen. I am just being a goofball. You guys can't see. I figured you just understand, you know? You know, you've done this enough. You don't need the screen anymore. It's a luxury at this point. All right, this silver trade right now is what's ripping. And then everything else is suffering. Let's see here. One sec. What do I have open over here? I'm in profit on some accounts, on Apex accounts, but I don't know why. Wait, what? Oh, that's just wrong. Never mind. I'm not in profit on those accounts. That's hilarious. All right, silver moving nice. And then you guys can see got the mini going here. But oil, it looks like oil wanted to go and just keep continuing to be inverse correlated or something. So deeper pullback here, playing into this structure. I'm just gonna keep holding this regardless. And I already have the risk I want in play here, so I'm not going for anything else. I can't really add anything here. It just kind of is what it is. And so just gonna let that continue, let that rally. In the meantime, this silver trade will probably do the trick for that account. So this is my conviction account right now, the one that I logged back into. Gold did the thing, so just took out the London low since it was dipping just a little bit more aggressive than silver did. And then right now, so okay, what the setups that can happen, that can be an opportunity across the board here. You have potential shakeout now with S&P, maybe with NASDAQ. So it'll kind of be based on how the market unfolds. Just because Dow started more bullish, the reality is Dow has just kind of become way less volatile overall. It's just slowed down. So if we have enough confirmation, then yeah, we're looking at potential buys again here in the near future. What we want to see though is we want to see, like we clearly are seeing the following, that with the market breaking below, it's not enough. Like the lows, the market doesn't want to stay down here. As much as this is breaking below these lows, it doesn't, at least to me, it doesn't seem like these are bearish. It's like it wants to just liquidate and then that's it. So, but we need a bit more proof, right? We need this to hold a little bit longer. So for now, we'll wait it out. We just got to let it unfold. Let the proof come to us. That's going to be the single biggest factor right now. All right, cool. So gonna let this rip. Let's see. Stops are set. I think I'll hit my max on the day before it gets to here. But this would be basically my take profit right here for silver. Anyone take silver instead? You took silver? Fire. Nancy's in silver. Oil is bleeding out. I might get clapped on oil. So had a half hour win on NQ. Had a loss on Dow, gold, which is unfortunate, really unfortunate. And then oil right now as well. But gold or Dow was a half hour. So NQ and Dow ended up washing each other out. From there, the loss on gold, which got scammed, obviously. And then from there, we have either longs in silver, or you survive gold. Maybe you widen your stop a little bit because you knew it could be a little tricky there. That's about it. So if you have the availability, I would say keep an open mind to shakeouts on indices. They have potential for sure. Just let it unfold. Like, let it happen. Don't get too excited. Don't start chasing anything. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, got some value. Silver, I'm taking silver to here. I want to see silver run to like right there, 70-20-ish. Risk free on silver. Gold survived. Sweet. Awesome. Well, for anybody else here, if you're wanting to kind of get a better idea of where you're at with your trading, then feel free to check out our consultation here, totally free. It's at justtradetopia.pro. You'll see it on the main screen. Check that out if you want to kind of get directed to where you should be with your learning, whether it's resources, programs that we have, etc. So go check that out. And otherwise, enjoyed being here with you guys as always. So take care, y'all. Peace out.